Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. With that, let's get out to venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Standing by with the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan. That's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Stafford. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch able to record his 5th sack of the season. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move. But the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bears take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A big play there from McCaffrey. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And he'll get this down only to the 18.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The stop there on 3rd, they could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly, and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
Operating from the gun, Winslow. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try and run with Wilson. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Taywan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bears have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drives, exactly what you're doing.
On a heavy route. rush, and down he goes. Aaron Lynch able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
This is intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
That good for 22 and a first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. He gets away from one. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Here's McCaffrey. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Penalty is declined.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you'd have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. The spinning away. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
What's the old adage, partner? Don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes the mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice gain.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen in the final seconds of the first half as the Bears push further out in front.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we reach halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And that will come the offense as they take over. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And again, that second score here in the third quarter. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. 41 yards. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Second down, this is Wilson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll run again with Wilson. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now fourth and goal. You know what? I know it's fourth down and they've got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've been shoved around this entire game, and they're making a nice goal line stand here. It would be fun to see them stop them on fourth down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's like putting whipped cream on broccoli at this point.
So what you're saying is they're going to go for it on fourth down. They're going to get it, aren't they?
I would. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go to Johnson again. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Meanwhile, up in Green Bay, and you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Sam Darnold, a couple of touchdown passes thus far. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Lions now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of the defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The Lions on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Stafford now to throw.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. 22 yards there, a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
So out now come the Lions. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sacks. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. around the NFL. They're in the fourth now in Green Bay. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Sam Darnold over 300 yards now and also 3 touchdown passes. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount.